measurement of the impact of what you're doing?
Yes.
Instead of just the numbers.
Not just the numbers, but really getting in, are you doing anything for influence and impact?
The tools out there that are available are imperfect for that. I think that the industry standard is clout, but it's fatally flawed in that it doesn't allow you to integrate all of your business tools. It's really more fashioned to if you're a celebrity and everything that you do is about your personal brand. So if you're a speaker or something like that, that might have some. I think the key equation is, are you influencing influencers? Are people who are influencing, who have big followings and who are very active online and are getting people paying attention to them, are they paying attention to you? How often is the stuff that you're putting out there being shared? How many tweets of yours are being retweeted? How many different entities are retweeting your stuff or sharing your stuff within the networks? And within the numbers, you can dial down and see which posts of yours are generating the most engagement, how many different people are engaging with them, what time of day, and what content out there is most germane to your audience, and continually refine that message. So within the numbers, you can look and find out how you're doing in terms of attention share. And I also think it's good to figure out a benchmark. We have a client that's in that started up their stuff. They're really launched or relaunched their social media presence in the middle of late in 2010. And they're chasing a competitor who's been online and very active in it since early in 2009. And so when we do their monthly reports, we look at how we're tracking against how they're doing. So if you've got a benchmark against someone to compare yourself, then that's good. That's a good tool. Did that answer your question?
Close. You got clout, and that's about all I know.
Yeah, unfortunately, and it has to do with data privacy and the protection of the data. That's why we really haven't been able to crack the nut yet to say, okay, here's the silver bullet. There's never going to be that silver bullet. I mean, there's always going to be some kind of intuitive nature of what you do, right?
We can get all the numbers in the world, but at some point we have to look at the cash flow.
Well, 97% of people know that you can make the numbers, statistics do whatever you want, right? So 50% of the time.
And as you get more advanced tools, you can start using, if I were selling a widget on my website, I'd be able to make a tweet, use a tiny URL, attach a URL tracking code to that, have it come in, be able to look at the dollars from that lead source and say, from my Twitter activities, I generated $25,000 last month. So you can do that sort of thing easily as well as you move into those sorts of things. Or my cost per lead, and I can equate that to the time that I spent or what I paid for my Twitter activities and then the content generation. So there's all kinds of different ways to track, but you've got to figure out what you're going for, right, to be able to track it well. Or you'll spend all your time tracking all of these things, and really all you need to do, you should never track anything that you can't change. Why do it? If you can't change it, don't worry about tracking it. This is something that I learned at an analytics conference where they were talking about it, and we track all these numbers and you get all this stuff. And if you're not willing to change it or you're not going to change it, don't worry about tracking it. Let it go. Just track the things that you really care about, and that's what you need to do. All right, I'm going to have Andre from Denver Dataman come up, and we're going to break up into tips groups. Thank you, everybody, for the conversation this morning.
Thank you, John. My name is Andre Takas. I'm with Denver Dataman. We're a training-driven company. We provide social media training, one-on-one group setting as well. If anybody's interested after the tips groups, we also have a 25% discount till the end of the month. So you can talk to me one-on-one. This is the portion of the social media group where we break up into groups. You can see we have LinkedIn here, Twitter. This is the Facebook group right here. We got YouTube and mobile apps over here. The idea is that you're going to be coming into these groups either to learn from somebody else in the group or to contribute to that group on that topic. And the idea is to come up with a single idea to contribute to the group as a whole. So we're going to give you guys a couple of minutes to do that, form into your groups, and come up with an idea to contribute to the group as a whole and continue this conversation. Thanks.
you can now have these done in pretty much any shape you want, any color you want, and with your logo in the center of it. They're called custom QR codes. So now I have something pretty that went to the printer. I was hoping it was going to be back by today, and it's not. Where we can use that with the information, and instead of just being this black and white box or blue and white box or whatever on our stuff, it can now have it has our logo in it. It's in color, and really just kind of fits into what we're printing. We're getting ready to use them. Every business card has it on them, because just like Bump It or something like that, someone can just scan your card and it drops into their date book or their address book. We're using them for our activities, so that when we're out telling somebody about an event, you can just they can just scan your flyer and it drops into their calendar. We're using them for a number of things. So as much as I didn't like them originally, just because they were not as design friendly as I would have preferred, I'm really starting to get to like them now. And if you could search custom QR codes, there is some cool stuff out there. Right now they've got pumpkins. The QR code looks like a pumpkin for Halloween. Christmas trees, rainbows, a lot of them hearts. A lot of different shapes and sizes where they've learned how to do that. And it's much more user visual friendly. So that's our thought.
And name and who you're with?
Oh, I'm Elizabeth, and I'm with Roper Insurance.
Awesome. If somebody from YouTube can come up. Just mention name and who you're with, too.
Brian Olson, Conversation Starters Public Relations. And by the way, I broke an earlier rule. I always do here. Thank you, Webolutions, for doing this. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, all the sponsors. This is the greatest thing the Chamber does, and they put a lot of hard work into it. So, video can be scary. As a news director 5-6 years ago even, I remember signing purchase orders for $20,000 and $25,000 cameras. That put everybody in this room out of the market. Those days, video is $200-300. Video is here. We can all do video. The example came up. Now, if you're selling a $2 million property, hire Dale, hire me. Dale's good, though. If you're selling a $2 million property, yeah, that's great. That's what you need to do, a high-profile thing. But if somebody comes into your business and you just saved their professional ass because you came through when another vendor fell apart and you had 6 hours to get X amount of shirts done, somebody came desperately in the town and needed a home to live right away, and they're just going on, oh, God, thank you so much for what you did. I mean, we couldn't have done this without you. You say, would you say that one more time, please? Thank you. I learned this from Coca-Cola when it comes to video. And by the way, YouTube is now the #2 search engine right behind Google. Coca-Cola does over 60% of their marketing now online, and their approach to video is good enough is good enough. $2 million house, yeah, go high profile, hire Dale. If somebody is just bragging on you, put it up and upload it immediately just with a small little camera. You're not shooting a Steven Spielberg production. You're just putting up somebody bragging about your business. Use it, embrace it, start immediately, if not sooner.
Great, thank you. And with that, also, video is becoming more easily searchable as well on the back end. So somebody from Facebook?
Hi, my name's Beth. I'm with Kona Contractors, which is a local remodel company. First order of business, did anybody leave their glasses case? Absolutely. And I've never been told that I have to be louder before either. That's good to hear. So we did Facebook, and Facebook, as you all know, is all about connectivity. So people think that, yeah, it's all about me, I need to be posting on my Facebook page for my company. But one of the best pieces of advice and the thing that our group decided to share is that being connected and giving feedback on other companies, if you post from your page, so I work for a local remodel company. If I post on my granite person's page, hey, great job on the granite today, our client is super impressed, my logo actually appears on his page and to all of his friends or anybody that goes to his page. So it's a different way to stay connected. And also the other thing that we came up with is posting questions rather than just, here's an update on my work. It's questions. When was the last time you hired a contractor and had a horrible experience? Tell me about that. And that way you can get the connectivity and just the interaction of the people that like you.
Somebody from Twitter?
I'm Yan. I'm with the fake focus identity group advertising local agency. Our tip is actually very similar to yours. We're about interaction on Twitter. So instead of tweeting 20 articles every day, you prioritize your keywords and focus on whoever's posting articles in that keywords and interact with them. Don't just retweet. See something and don't just say, good article, thank you. See something clever that catch their attention and give them your feedback or forward them the more relevant that you think is more important, valuable article to them. That would be our tips. Thank you.
Great. Somebody from LinkedIn?
Okay, I'm doing this under duress. Good morning. I'm Wendy Nelson with B2B CFO. I'm a part-time CFO helping companies manage cash. We were talking about LinkedIn, and one of the topics that we talked about is when you're talking about using the tools that are available to you, LinkedIn is free, but there's also a paid subscription. And if you use the paid subscription, you get a lot better tools out of LinkedIn. You can see who's looking at you. When you see, okay, there were 5 people that looked at my profile today, you click on that and it tells you who they were. You can research companies and you can say, I'm looking for companies with this many employees in this, within 20 miles of my house where I already have a first or second degree connection. So it can help you to expand your network in a way that's rational and to people that will benefit you. And it also allows you to do in-mails, which means you can send an email directly to someone that you're not connected to, where I don't think you can do that in the free subscription. So our tip was, if you're using LinkedIn as a resource already and you like the way it works and you like using it for a professional network, consider upgrading to the paid subscription and you'll get a lot more out of it. I want to say it's either $20 a month or $200 a year. I can't, but cheap.
As low as 20 and as high as 50.
So, very, very small investment, great benefits.
But for a limited time offer.
I was not paid to say that.
Thank you. Well, thank you all. One more. Give hands to everyone who spoke today, continuing this contribution. Same ideas, whether it's in person or online. And I'm going to give it back to John.
All right, so thank you, everybody, for being here. It's nearly 9 o'clock. Our next meeting's going to be on October 21st. And with that, I'll say have a fantastic weekend. All right?